Hello everyone. Thank you for taking the time to complete the required Student Employee FERPA training session. We have created this video segment to provide you with an overview of FERPA and how it pertains to you in your role as a student employee at BC3. What is FERPA? FERPA stands for the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. FERPA, sometimes referred to as the Buckley Amendment, became law in 1974. So FERPA is not new and has been around for a long time. FERPA is enforced by the Department of Education through the Family Policy Compliance Office. It applies to any institutions that receive federal funding, for example, financial aid. In a nutshell, FERPA is a law designed to do three main things: protect the privacy of student educational records, give students the right to review their educational records, and provide guidance on how to request inaccurate information to be corrected. Under FERPA, at the age of 18 or upon enrollment in a post-secondary institution, the access to educational information transfers from the parent or guardian to the student. It does not matter who is paying the bill. This can be confusing for some parents or guardians to understand at first because parents may be paying some or all of the student's college expenses and therefore feel they are entitled to this information. It can also be hard for both parents and students to transition from high school to college. In high school, parents had access to all educational information and now they don't. This can take some getting used to by all parties. Some examples or types of protected information are grades, transcripts, academic progress, balance due information, class attendance, accommodations for disabled students, and academic judicial records. As a student employee, based on the list of confidential information we just reviewed, you may have access to some of the listed information in your position at BC3. There are many positions within the college that have a legitimate need to know a student's protected educational information. This is only a very brief list, but as you can see, it could include all levels of employees, different departments, the faculty, student employees, and even tutors. Let's talk about this a little more. What exactly is a legitimate educational interest? A legitimate educational interest is really anything that is vital to the academic success of the student. Some examples might include having access to credit card information while working in the bookstore or finance office in order to process a payment for a student's tuition or purchase. Having knowledge of a student's financial aid information while performing work in the financial aid office. And something you might not think of but is very important, the need to report to our BIT team or behavioral intervention team information that you might learn from a student about their intent to harm themselves or others. This type of information needs to be reported immediately to a member of our BIT team so that immediate assistance can be provided to the student. Or when in doubt, ask a tutoring coordinator or the Dean of Student Development. Basically, think of the phrase need to know. If you need to know the information in order to do your job or assist the student academically, then likely you are functioning within the boundary of the FERPA guidelines. Now that we know some legitimate reasons to share educational information, let's review some examples of when it would not be appropriate to share student information. Let's say a parent inquires about whether or not the student is progressing in their class, or perhaps they are attending their tutoring sessions. Now, while you might think this will never happen, let me say from personal experience that it indeed can. It's always that odd situation that catches you off guard. In this instance, you cannot share the requested information with the parent. The student's academic progress and tutoring attendance is considered confidential and cannot be shared with the parent. Another example, an inquiry from a faculty member who is not currently a student's instructor about academic progress or grades. Seemingly an innocent request, but if you think about it, what is the instructor's true reason to need to know how the student is doing, since they do not currently have them in class? There isn't one. Even in casual conversation amongst tutors, you have to be careful what you say. Do you let too much personal information slip? Do you share a student's lack of class attendance with others? Keep in mind that sharing information can occur in a variety of ways. It can occur via email, through graded student papers left sitting on a table, through general conversation with others, or even by just viewing information on a computer screen. So as a reminder, do not leave confidential paperwork laying around in an area where others can read it. Do not leave your computer screen viewable to students or others that do not need to see it. Don't discuss verbally with students or others anything relating to another student that is confidential. So who is responsible for protecting student information? You are. We all are. Since FERPA is a federal law, we do mandate compliance. All new student employees are required to sign a statement of understanding regarding the FERPA law and complete this video training session. When in doubt, err on the side of caution, asking a coordinator of tutoring or dean of students or any other employee if you have questions or concerns. Thank you for reviewing the FERPA training video. You are now required to complete a brief training assessment quiz and electronically sign the FERPA Statement of Understanding. If you have any questions about FERPA, please be sure to speak with your supervisor for further clarification.